What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and welcome to another match reaction to another inevitable Chelsea loss. And it finished Chelsea 1, Brighton 2 at Stamford Bridge today. And to be honest, the scoreline didn't flatter Brighton at all. They could have won 3-4, 5-1. It was an absolute footballing lesson from Roberto De Zerbi's boys, and they battered us in every single department. You know, it was embarrassing on our behalf, but you know, fair play to Brighton, fair play to De Zerbi and the superb job he's done there. Everyone to a man was superb for them today. Ferguson, Matoma, Alexis McAllister in midfield, Caicedo. The guys at the back, Duncan Webster, were fantastic. March and Pascal Gross were superb as well. So, yeah, you know, the difference between them and us is night and day. You know, that's a well-drilled, well-coached side with a top manager, with players that know exactly what their jobs are and they fit seamlessly into the system and know what they're doing. We, on the other hand, haven't got a good manager, haven't got a system, haven't got an identity. Players have got no idea what jobs they're doing on the pitch, and yeah, you know, it's just same old, same old. And the most frustrating thing is, or the most annoying thing is that, do you know what? It's not even a surprise. I knew we were going to lose today. You know, like it's just irrelevant now. You know, I don't go to any matches thinking that we're going to win today. That's just the way it goes. We just aren't good enough. Simple as that. The level that we're at is not good enough. And the fact that, you know, we're now in a situation where, no disrespect to Brighton, but Brighton are a miles better football team than Chelsea. That's how far we've fallen. And, you know, people think, oh, you know, we get a new manager and it's all going to be fine. It's going to take time for us to sort this out. It's going to take time. You know, new manager comes in, we're not suddenly going to be like challenging for the top 4 next season. We really aren't. That's not the reality of the situation. And today, just no one was good enough. The only people that can come away from today with any semblance of credit for me, Kepa, who kept the score to 2-1. Thought Gallagher was good today. You know, pressing was superb. Running, you know, he put a shift in. Obviously, he got the goal. Yes, it's a massive slice of luck and it's a deflection, but you know, he comes away with some credit from today. And I thought Mudryk was good as well for me. Yes, he's still raw. Yes, he's giving the ball away. Yes, he'll make mistakes, but he showed glimpses of the quality that he's got, the talent he has, and the player that he can be. But other than that, no one else did anything. Everyone else was absolutely shocking. And, you know, for me, look, we love Lampard. You know, he's back at Stamford Bridge. He's like, no one expected him to be here this season at all. He's obviously doing his best, but the reality of the situation, he's not a good manager. Simple as that. He's not a good manager. You know, he's just a familiar face, a club legend, someone that knows the club inside out, and they just brought him in to try and raise the morale, try and get a reaction out of this team whilst they search for a new permanent manager. And the reality of the situation is that he's not good enough. He's not getting anything out of these players. No one's improving. There's been no lift. There's been no bounce from the players' perspective at all. And the lift that the fans got from it when it was announced is now completely disappeared because, you know, the reality set in just how shit we really are. So, yeah, we're in a massive mess. And, you know, from top to bottom, it's a mess. And, you know, the owners have just come in. They're here for a minimum of 10 years. They have to be. That was part of the deal from when they bought the club from Roman. But they're already coming under immense pressure because the decisions they've made have completely backfired and they've just not worked out at all. And for me, you know, I look at it and I just think, look, investment and ambition, absolutely there. Looking to get the best young players in the world, yes, for sure. We're doing that. We've got a footballing department in place, you know, the best people in their roles in football. Yes, we've got that, you know, Win Stanley, Christian Ravel, Lawrence Stewart, Joe Shields, like this, that department's in place. But at the same time, you know, we're still learning on the job and, you know, they've got to start getting things right. Sacking Tuchel, fine, okay, do it. Not like, you know, fine, not a problem. But at the same time, you've got to realize that you've made that decision at completely the wrong time. Get rid of him before the season started. Get rid of him before the World Cup, but you've got a break to bring someone in. Don't let him have a transfer window. Don't let him have a pre-season where he coaches the players to try and play a certain way, and then you replace him in September with Graham Potter, who plays a completely different style of football. He's never managed at this level and kind of expect it to work out. And then don't then leave Graham Potter in post for so long that you get to 10 games left and you panic and you sack him when you're at this point of the season. There's no point getting rid of him unless we're going to go down. And you can joke about us going down. We're not going to go down because it would require us to pretty much lose every single game, which admittedly we could, but it would require the rest of the teams below us to pretty much win the vast majority of their games, and they simply aren't going to do that. So that's fine in regards to that. But yeah, today a joke. The level not there at all. Simply not good enough. That's the rate of the situation. Simply not good enough at all. And you can look at the players, and yes, you know, a lot of new players have come in this window. A lot of new players and new faces. Mid-season, it's really hard to get players to gel. We've got a massive squad over 30. There's always going to be people disappointed that are going to be left out. You're going to have to leave a lot of players out, and that's difficult to juggle. But you know, at the same time today, some shocking decisions, in my opinion, from Lampard. You know, why is Ziyech getting minutes? Why is he even in the squad? He doesn't want to be here. You know, he wouldn't have been here if we'd got our shit together and sent the paperwork over properly. Madueke should be in the squad getting those minutes. Like, it's inexcusable for that not to be happening. Unless there's an injury we've not heard about, it's absolutely inexcusable. And then you look at, you know, the likes of, why is Aubameyang in the squad? You know, we're 2-1 down. We need a goal. We've got no centre forwards. Aubameyang's in the squad. You don't use him. What is the point of Aubameyang even being in the squad? You know, changes today, you know, made 6 changes. As soon as I saw that lineup, it just reaffirmed in my mind that we weren't winning that football match. 6 changes. And people used to hammer Graham Potter for changing the lineup every single game. Lampard's done the same thing. 6 changes with half an eye on Tuesday. Mate, we can't even win any games in the Premier League. And yet we're making changes thinking that we're going to score 3 goals against Real Madrid without conceding. Of course we're not. You know, we're making luxury decisions when we're in a terrible, terrible position, and we're not in a position to be doing that. But, you know, I keep saying it can't get any worse. And every single week it gets worse. Each game under Lampard has got worse. Started at Wolves, awful. Madrid, worse. This one, even worse. Even though we managed to somehow score a goal, this was an absolute disaster. And, you know, I'll just bring this up now on the screen as well, is that, you know, no team, is it this one? Yeah, this one here. No Premier League team have won fewer games than Chelsea since October the 16th. So since October 16th, which must have been just before the World Cup. Yeah, maybe just before the World Cup. But yeah, I think just before the World Cup. So basically from just before the World Cup, we have won the least amount of games in the league. And you look at like teams like Southampton at the bottom struggling, Everton's, your Bournemouths. Like, these guys have all won more matches than us since October 16th. That's criminal. That cannot be allowed to happen. This is Chelsea Football Club. We've spent best part of 300 odd million quid in January, probably about 600 million pounds or so since the new owners have been here. And since before the World Cup, we have won the least amount of games in the Premier League. And you look at some of those teams down the bottom, they're not good teams. And yet they've managed to win more games than us. Bournemouth went to Spurs today. Fucking Bournemouth went to Spurs and scored 3 goals there and won. We turned up there, put in a pathetic performance, couldn't even score. Like, it's a madness. I don't know what's going on here. You know, you see Roy Hodgson comes in at Palace, you know, 75 years of age, and suddenly they've won 3 games on the spin. We can't even manage to win 1 game in charge. Frank Lampard player, as Tabs has said, big up, legend. Yes, Frank Lampard manager, absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. But guys, let me get to a few bits in the chat first. By the way, big up everyone in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Keep smashing the likes on the stream, guys. Only on 5 likes. That's nowhere near good enough. Bit like Chelsea today, but we can do better than that. Let's get that to at least 10 first, and then we can start building from there. Aim for tonight's stream, guys. Trying to get to the 30 like mark. We've got 5 likes so far, so let's bang those likes up, get to at least 10 people. So keep smashing the like button. It really helps me out. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, on the road to 3K before the end of the season. Let's have a look here. Daniel, thanks for tuning in, bro. Hi, mate. Rain, big up. Yeah, cheers. As this is a recurring theme and they lose with any manager, I thought, hey, well, the players have got to take a massive responsibility as well. But the manager sets the tone. And, you know, it's a combination. Manager, not good enough. Players right now, not good enough. Other players, good players. Yes. Do we have quality in the squad? Yes. But the players aren't getting it out of themselves, and the manager's certainly not getting it out of them either. You just look at the job that Unai Emery's doing at Aston Villa. An absolutely superb job. You know, he's come in. Villa were in the relegation zone when he took over from Gerrard. They're now going to end up playing European football. He's got Ollie Watkins on absolute fire at the moment. Jacob Ramsey's doing a madness there. Just a really, really well-coached side, disciplined. They know exactly what to do. And he's done a fantastic job there. Roberto De Zerbi today at Brighton. What a manager. What a superb appointment he's been. He's come in, he's carried on the good work that Graham Potter did there, and he's taken it to another level. Every single player to a T knows what to do in that system. Evan Ferguson goes off today. Welbeck comes on. No difference because he knows his job. No Levi Colwill today because he's on loan from us. Webster comes in. Fantastic performance from him. This is the signs of a well-coached team and that are tactically switched on and have got an identity, because it doesn't matter what pieces you put into the system, that system works. Whereas for us, you can put any pieces you want in a system and nothing works because we've not got a functioning system. We've not got an identity, and we're a mess from top to bottom as a football club. Simple as that. Yes, Pez Lord, big up. Thank you for tuning in as always, my guy. De Zerbi thanked Potter in a post-match presser. Yeah, I haven't actually seen the quotes, but I did hear that happening. I'm not really sure why he's decided to do that now. But yeah, fair play. Potter did a fantastic job at Brighton as well. I just want the season to end. I've had enough of this shit every week. Mate, I know the feeling all too well. Every week I go because I love the football club and I love going to the games. But fuck me, this season has been the worst in my life. It's bordering on depressing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And we got Madrid on Tuesday night. But yeah, will I be there? Absolutely, I'll be there. I fancy Nagelsmann after seeing Tuchel draws at Bayern. Yeah, again, I like Julian Nagelsmann. I think he'd be my number one choice. I think he's a top manager. And again, he wasn't the problem at Bayern. That Bayern team, like, look at the quality they've got. It's not actually that good. Tuchel's struggling to make an impact. Yes, he won his first game. But yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle from there. Need more. It's going to take more than positive thinking to turn this around. More than positive thinking. Yes, Tabs, big up, bro. Thank you, mate. No, I appreciate that. I just try and say it how it is, in my opinion, after the games. But yeah, guys, if you've not seen that, you can head over to Chelsea Fan TV. You can check out myself and the team's reaction to the game today. Make sure you subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV as well. People would really appreciate that. We're on the road to 200,000 subscribers there. So yeah, check it out. Guys, whilst you're at it, make sure you check out the match vlog from today's game as well. Would really appreciate you all giving that a watch. Smash a like on it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Match vlog from today's performance. Got all the goals on there as well, actually, I think as well. So yeah, make sure you check out the match vlog, guys. What we got here? Booing our own players, arguing with owners who just bought the club. Yeah, this owners thing. I've seen the picture with guys shouting down at Todd. Like, look, I get you're frustrated. Don't be fucking idiots and do stuff like that. Like, seriously, come on, guys. They're here for 10 years minimum. Yes, you can disagree with their decisions, of course. I disagreed with some of them. They've got things wrong, and they need to get themselves together quickly. But they're here for 10 years minimum. They're not going anywhere unless they can't sell the club for 10 years minimum. That's part of the deal. So they're not going anywhere. There's no point directing your frustrations at the owners because that's not going to do anything. They know they've got decisions wrong. They know they have to get things right. They know it's not good enough. They're not stupid people. So just let them do their thing. Try and trust in the process. Try and trust the people that are smarter than us and are supposedly the best in their class. Just let them do what they need to do and criticize as and where you feel necessary, but shouting at the owners in a game and stuff. Like, I know we're on a bad run, I know it's poor, but you've got to be better than that. You have to be better than that. No, it's not going to achieve anything. I fully agree. I need to see improvement next year at board. Yeah, there needs to be improvement in every facet of the club. There's got to be improvement at the top, all the way down to the bottom. At the moment, we are a mess from top to bottom. And I don't want to keep banging on about Brighton because we took their manager, we took their staff, we took Win Stanley from their board. But they are the epitome of a superbly run football club. From the top to the bottom, everything is spot on, from the owners, from the board, from the manager, from the players, from the scouting, from the players they bring in. Like these guys are the real deal for sure. And hopefully they'll be playing European football next season because I know they've done a double over us and I know they've beaten them, but they're a superb side. A real pleasure to watch. I know that it was at our expense, but a pleasure to watch. Mate, have you not got more subs? I really think you need to change the channel name, get more eyes on the channel. Well, yeah, no, I have changed it. It's now called Blue Brother. So the there's gone. It's called Blue Brother CFC. So yeah, I need to get some more subscribers. Tabs, if you want to spread the word to your mates and all that and get them to subscribe, that would be massively appreciated, bro. But yeah, Yeah, still heading towards 3,000, less than 300, about 260-ish to go. So yeah, any new subscribers would be greatly appreciated. Anyone that regularly tunes in, massively appreciate all of you. If you could try and spread the word as well, get the subs up, then that would be massive for myself and the channel. EPL Turf. It's fans who wanted to sack Potter without knowing the consequence that new manager will not come for 1.5 months, so it's on fans too. No, I don't blame the owners for sacking Potter because he had to go because there was no signs of improvement whatsoever and he was given more than enough time. But at the same time, they should have done it ages ago. Like you either get rid of him months ago, so you've got time to bring someone in and whatnot, or you just stick to your guns, let him see the season out, and then replace him in the summer. Because as I said, replacing him with 10 games to go is utterly pointless because it's not going to change anything. We would have picked up exactly the same results if we had Potter in charge for these 3 games. Simple as that. Do you think if they announce a manager now, it would level the ship from sinking? Not saying that he needs to start now, but surely the players think a manager is watching them made. With this group of players and how this season is going, they can announce Pep Guardiola to take over in the summer and do fuck all. Like it's just where we're at. The mentality, the attitude in this squad, it stinks. We need to make a mass clear out. Also, this is why no top manager is coming at this point of the season. Yeah, exactly. You look at Lampard, he's coming. He's not a good manager, but fair play. He's stepping up. He's doing his best, and whatnot. This is why no top managers want to take over this mess with the running we've got and the situation we're in, because it puts them off on the wrong foot, and it puts them in a really difficult position before they've even started their reign. So I don't blame any managers for not wanting to take this now. Guys, we've hit 10 likes. Good work. Let's get that up to 20 now, people. Let's get those likes to 20. Keep smashing the likes, guys. Get it up to 20. It really helps me out. I massively appreciate it. You can do this. You can really help me out. So keep smashing the likes, people. Let's hit that 20. Let's hit that 20. Havertz apparently picked up a bit of a knock to his knee in Madrid. Someone's just dropped me a DM on Twitter. How exciting. Anyway, not that anyone cares about that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh no. Why do people always ask me for tickets? Fuck off. Havertz, yeah. Apparently Havertz picked up an injury to a bit of a knock to his knee in the game in Madrid. So that's why he wasn't in, but I'm not really sure why. That wasn't specified or anything, but I think it was more of a precaution than anything serious. Owners should not be making decisions based on fans' opinion. The fans' opinion is important. Fans do have a say in the football club. They won't just make decisions 100% based on the fans, of course not. But the fans' reaction and the perception from the fans around what's going on is taken into consideration as it should be. It's as simple as that. Never thought I'd say this, but it's got worse after Potter. No, mate, I agree. I agree, but if people don't agree, you can't say it's got any better because it's got absolutely no better at all. You could argue it's got worse 100%, but it's definitely not got any better. Yes, mate, big up. Mate, if you're about and you want to jump on for a little bit, let me know in the chat and I'll drop you the link. If not, thanks for tuning in as always, my guy. Season's done now. I agree with resting players of Champions League. It's all we have left to play for and we have the slightest of chances. League is done. Yeah, we can't look. I get the league's done, but we can't say it doesn't matter. Because we can't just keep losing football matches week in, week out. So when we go out to Madrid on Tuesday night, the rest of the games don't matter. Mate, we can't be thinking like that. And look, I get we're resting players for Tuesday, but mate, we've got no chance. Like Vince McMahon's entrance song, no chance, mate. We've got no chance at all on Tuesday night. We're not going to score 3 goals without conceding. Simple as that. And I know that might sound negative, but I'm just going to go there. Enjoy watching some world-class players from Real Madrid, Benzema, Vinicius. Watch a world-class manager in Carlo Ancelotti, and enjoy our last Champions League night as much as possible for the foreseeable future. Because we're not going to be dining at Europe's top table for a good couple of years now. So, yeah, league is done, but we can't go into that attitude. We're not going to you can't just turn performances and motivation on and off. We saw in that first leg the players weren't even up for it. They're not going to be up for it in this second leg. Of course they're not. You couldn't get up for a game in the Bernabeu in the quarterfinal of the Champions League against the European champions. You're not going to suddenly get yourself up for this one. Yeah, we might score and we might take the lead in this game on Tuesday, maybe. But the reality of the situation is we're not good enough. We are not good enough. Simple as that. The manager's not good enough. The tactics aren't good enough. The players aren't good enough. So yeah, that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. That's just the way it is at the moment. But yeah, it's so disappointing because we're just so shit. We literally are. The fact that we've won the least games in the Premier League since October just says it all. I feel like Potter had lost the dressing room, and now the players are still acting that way. Can imagine it being. I don't know if it's toxic in the dressing room. I think Lampard will say it how it is, and he will kind of lose his rag per se. But at the same time, like from a player perspective, like I'm not sure really how much are you going to listen to Lampard when you know that he's not going to be here at the end of the season, when you know that you don't need to impress him, when you know that like whatever he does, he's being moved on anyway. So why would you bother trying to impress Lampard when he's not going to be here? Like that's how they would be thinking. I personally wouldn't be thinking like that because I think it's massively unprofessional. But at the same time, I can understand from that perspective. You've got a guy that's here for 10 games. He's not gonna he's going at the end of the season. Why would you bother trying for him? Is what I'm getting at. During Potter, we were creating chances, not able to score, and look more like that luck not on our side under Lampard. Yeah, look, we weren't good under Potter. Let's make no mistakes about it. But we were creating chances. We created a lot of chances. Under Lampard, we're creating no chances now. Hardly any chances at all. A drastic reduction in the amount of chances we're taking. I would actually say we're playing worse football. I honestly think we're actually playing worse football under Lampard than we were playing under Potter. And I didn't actually think that was possible to say. But that's the reality of the situation. Can't believe he brought on Ziyech today, no matter what. Yeah, that's a decision that I just cannot understand at all. Madueke not even in the squad. He's been bought in January. Yes, he's raw. Yes, he's young, and he's one for the future. But with these games that obviously they do matter, but we're not playing for anything in the league. Like this is the perfect time to give these guys a chance to get the minutes ahead of having a bit of a bigger role next season. But the fact that he put someone in that's not going to be here next season ahead of someone that's going to be part of the long-term future here. It's an absolute joke. I cannot defend that whatsoever. And the same with Datro Fofana as well. I'm not saying he's good enough or he's a finished article or anything, but he's part of the future plans. Why is he not in the squad? Why is he not getting some form of minutes? Like I just don't get it. That was really, really poor from Frank today. I have to say it was poor. Brain dead if these owners thought things would get better and improve by appointing Lampard as interim manager. It's terrible. It's shit. As simple as that. Apparently, I saw that. Apparently, the owners spent like an hour over an hour in the dressing room after the game. I don't know what they were talking about in there. Well, obviously, I don't think we'll know. Maybe it will come out in the course of the next few days. But let's see what happens. George, I'm going to send you the link now, mate. If you're still there, give me 2 seconds. But it was awful today. It was so bad. I don't really know how things get any better. That's the reality of the situation. How do things get any better for us? That is the problem. But let's see, people. Let's see what happens here. But I'm not confident that we're going to get any better at all. That's the reality of the situation. We aren't good enough. We are not good enough. And until we make fundamental changes at the top, then that's going to be the reality of the situation. And I think I've somehow managed to get rid of that. Why is my screen gone so fucking small? There we go. That's much better. Sorry about that, people. They're in there for over an hour. Maybe against Forest we can win. Let's pray. We can pray. It's going to take more than prayers, people. Going to take more than prayers. I'm blaming everything on owners now. They are disgraced and ruining everything Roman built. Look, what I want to say is, Roman was great, guys. No doubt about it. But we need to remember that we were on the slide under Roman. We've been on the slide since 2017. That's the reality of the situation. And all the short-term decisions that we've made as a football club have come home to roost. And now we're getting done. And they're all coming home to roost at once. Yes, mate. How are we doing?
Yes, mate. All good. Yeah, you?
Yeah, mate. Not bad.
Could have been better.
Yeah, mate. Could be better. Maybe I'll just start supporting my local and go and watch non-league.
Yeah, honestly.
might be a bit more enjoyable. But yeah, mate. Thoughts on today? From my perspective, we just got taught a footballing lesson. We got absolutely schooled. How did you see it?
Yeah. Watched the majority of it, mate, and I have to say I agree. I think Brighton were really impressive. Looked like the home side. They looked like the assured team who were pinging it around nicely, knew exactly where everyone knows. And I was almost nervous watching it for Chelsea. It was almost like they were totally out of ideas as to where, no anticipation of where the ball was going to be or running. You can just sense the complete lack of confidence and ideas in that team. Like there's nothing, and I know it's hard to get any motivation when there's literally nothing to play for at this stage. But when we were discussing it before the game, that we weren't expecting anything from a game at home to Brighton. I think that we're as a club we're bang in trouble, aren't we?
Yeah, we are bang in trouble, and obviously, like Brighton are a fantastic football club in terms of the way they're run, how they scout, the way they discover players and whatnot. But for Chelsea to be in a situation where we are getting absolutely schooled by Brighton at home goes to show how far we've fallen, because that should never be happening. Yes, you can lose games at home. Yes, you can lose to teams that aren't as good as you. But, mate, Brighton are miles clear of us. They were everything that we're not. Well coached, well drilled. They've got a system. Everyone knows their job. They're run superbly from top to bottom. Ownership's great. The board, the directors, the scouting system, the data, the players they sign, everything is spot on. They've got an identity, everything that we don't have. And this is not a quick fix. We're fully aware of that. This is not a quick fix. And, we've been doing things one way for 20 years. And when that changes, there's going to be some teething issues. Obviously, we've got more than teething issues right now. But I mean, I said when Lampard was appointed that I don't think we'd win a game under him, and I still fully stand by that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I'll bring the fixtures up, but yeah, mate, can you see us winning a game under Lampard?
Well, I have to say I am surprised that we didn't get a manager bounce. I believe in a manager bounce. It usually does happen.
Yeah, because Roy Hodgson, Hodgson's
Hodgson
and won 3 on the spin.
Yeah, and I thought Frank would bring that positivity and that breath of fresh air. Okay, we probably all are realistic and realise he's not the long-term plan for the club, but he was there to stabilise what was a terrible situation, because he knows the club very well, knows the training ground, knows the operations, and a lot of the players that are obviously still at the club, he brought in the likes of Thiago Silva still there, Ben Chilwell, Hakim Ziyech, so trying to get a lift out of those players as well, but. Mate, you're looking right, because I actually cannot believe not just the results, but the level has not increased whatsoever.
Mate, you could almost say that I don't think this would be outrageous to say. You could almost say it's worse than what we were watching under Potter these last 3 games. It's certainly no better.
Yeah, other than the first maybe 10 minutes against Madrid, I think it's been awful. The Wolves game was. I think everyone was saying
that's one of the worst games of football I've ever watched, mate. It was so bad.
Yeah, and okay, they scored a wonder goal, which ends up being the goal that wins the game, but we didn't deserve to get anything out of that. And then today, it was literally like watching, one of those FA Cup ties where a lower league side just is trying to do everything they can and getting absolutely bossed around. So yeah, other than that 10 minutes against Madrid, I would say awful. Absolutely awful, and again, we have to criticise. I'm a big fan of Frank, but you have to criticise the same things that we criticise Potter for. And again, you're not going to get any team cohesion when you're changing 6-7 players every single game. Like you're just not going to get. I know we're like throwing the dice and trying to change things because there's nothing else to do, but. Again, changing players at the back 4, changing back to a back 4, midfield changes again. And it's just like, how are you supposed to get any sort of team cohesion when players are literally changing every week and the personnel's changing?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I totally agree, mate. And it's like, you can't expect anything to improve when you're constantly chopping and changing. How are you going to get any continuity, any plans of play, any team chemistry, any relationship or understanding between players to be built up when you are changing every week? When someone's going to be playing one week, the next week they're not. All right, I get it. You wanted to make changes today ahead of Tuesday night to give you the best possible chance.
Course, yeah.
I understand that. Rest 1 or 2. Don't change virtually the whole team. You changed 6 players, right? Which is what? So you've literally 4 players stayed the same outfield. You've changed 3/4 of the team. Like, what exactly are you expecting to get from that? Like, I'm not saying it's all his fault, because he's been here 9 days, and A, he's not a top manager, and B, when you're playing games so quickly, you've got hardly any time to change anything. But at the same time, you have to look at yourself and think, for me, like, what do I need to do in the short amount of space, the short space of time that I'm here? When you see managers come in with teams with a few games left to go, that they need quick results. What do you do when you're struggling as a shit team? You go back to basics. You work on the basics. You defend well. You keep possession. You don't give the ball away, and you just keep it simple. We're not doing any of those things. I mean, do you think we could maybe benefit from just literally going to a complete back to basics approach?
Yeah, but again, this is what I don't understand. I think, regardless of what the owners have said, Frank Lampard, this is an opportunity, or was, it's probably gone now, but it was an opportunity for Frank Lampard to make a claim to stay there. On his, I'm talking on a personal level. If he did well, if he did very well, he had the at least put the question mark there to say, well, actually, maybe I do belong at this table. Obviously, that's probably gone now. But
there's an opportunity for him to put himself back in the market as a Premier League manager, because there's going to be jobs available. There's going to be Leicester available. There'll be Palace available. Like, he's not doing himself any favor. This is a massive opportunity for him.
No, this is his interview, regardless of whether his future's at Chelsea or not. And like you said, mate, sometimes you just don't need to overcomplicate the game. And I think, we saw that in the first year that he came in, that the football was quite good. The brand of football was good. Okay, it was a bit high risk, but it was good on the eye. It was good to watch. But again, he had less pressure then, because he was the first kind of real change to a type of way we wanted to go in terms of management. We had the transfer ban, so no one was really expecting anything. Yes, you could say the expectations again now are gone, but I think it was a disrespect to kind of against Brighton to think that you were going to come away with any sort of result playing that team and going back again to a team that just was never capable of winning that game of football. And if you want to go into the game against Real Madrid with any sort of confidence, you want to be scoring goals and winning that football match.
Well, yeah.
But I do get the reasons why, as you've explained. We need to give ourselves the best possible opportunity for the only remaining possible positive this season, which is to progress in the Champions League. Yes, it's very, very slim. But if we score an early goal, or we go 1-0 up in that game, anything can happen. Even if we get that goal in the last 10 minutes, we could create. You never know at Stamford Bridge. But look, we're not kidding ourselves. We've probably got 1 point or 0.1% chance of getting anything out of that game. But he's got to see that as the only last possible salvage of this season. So not playing Silva, not playing Jay. Well, James came on.
Well, James played a little bit.
Yeah. I think the whole thing needs to be relooked at in the summer, and they need to start looking around at what they're going to do, because as a fan, I'm completely lost now. I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the games we've got left, mate, and we're not playing on a weekend now until Bournemouth away. The next games are all midweek. You've got Brentford at home, Arsenal away, Bournemouth away, Forest at home. Then we've got City and United away, and we finish with Newcastle at home. I don't want to be negative or anything, but I look at that and I look at the way that we're playing. I cannot see where we are going to win a single one of those matches. I cannot see it. All those teams are playing better football than us right now. I mean, where do you see any points coming from in those games? Like, if you're looking at it now, where do you think we could get points?
I mean, as Chelsea fans, we want to beat Arsenal to stop them winning the title. I guess that's the one but that's not going to happen. It's really hard, mate, because you've obviously, even the clubs that you would say on paper we should be beating, they're fighting for their lives down there. So they're not going to be easy. Mate, I'm with you. You've got to look at it and think, where are the points coming from? I would have said Bournemouth before today, but then winning at Spurs in the last
Bournemouth away is always tough for us. We never seem to do particularly well there. I mean, under Sarri, we went there and we lost 4-0. I think we've lost 2-1 there before in the past as well.
For United, we've got a terrible record, but they're not playing well at home at the moment.
I mean, but that doesn't really matter when we're so shit. But I mean, City are going to
I guess Brentford's the next one. I guess Brentford's the.
I think you look at those two for me, and you think the only chance I think we've got of winning any of those games are probably the two at home to Brentford and Forest. Brentford have lost their last two games. They had a very good season.
They're terrible on the road as well. Terrible on the road.
They're not great. They're not great on the road. So maybe we get some points there. But yeah, it was. You know, it was. Yeah, I don't see where it's coming from. I mean, mate, just in terms of back to today. What disappointed you the most? There's obviously a long list, but what's kind of the one standout thing that you're watching that game today and you're thinking, like, what was the most disappointing part of it? The fact that we just got completely schooled, or the fact that, you know, we're just, for me, it's the fact that we're so far off being anywhere near a decent side.
Yeah, it's team, isn't it? You just look at the lack of team cohesion on that pitch. They're all individuals. Whenever someone receives the ball, they're looking around. They haven't got an idea in their head of where the ball's going to go to next. Getting crowded into kind of tight areas in our own half and unsure what to do with it, and end up just either, you know, kicking the ball to in the middle of the pitch where they regain possession, just totally out of ideas. And it's just, I guess, a lack of desire. I mean, watching again Sterling, this was a fantastic opportunity for him as a false nine to kind of show.
Sterling,
yeah, he was awful.
He's awful, mate. He's been terrible this season. Absolutely, he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
Yeah, he had a perfect audition today to say, look, Havertz has been absolute toss this season. False nine, maybe playing a bit of a free role up there where he can kind of go to the right, go to the left, play down the middle, and the lack of effort, just that total lack of, like, even just trying to close down areas was just a total joke. And I guess that's, you know, and even the good players now, just they can't carry the team, so they're getting found out, and it's so painful to watch. It's so painful to watch, and I guess that's the hardest thing, because the hope is the thing that kills us. Every single week we think, you know, there's going to be a turn of fortune. It looked like it was finally going to happen when we got the deflection and the luck of the goal, and we thought, right, we scored first. Finally, we got.
Even that was against the run of play. They'd been
it was,
us. Yeah,
they hit the crossbar, had some decent chances from McAllister, and totally out of the blue from a counter attack. You know, Madrid, a good run, and just, you know, played it back inside. But I mean, even then, when we got the goal, it was, like you said, totally against the run of play, because Brighton were all over us and continue to do so. Mate, I'm so done with this season. I really am. I've got no motivation to kind of get up for Chelsea games and watch. And it's hard to say that, because, you know, you obviously deep down you have a love for the club, and you still want to see the team do well. But it's just, I've never experienced a season like it, where I've got literally get up on a Saturday and I'm just like, even if we just fucking have a shot on target as a result, like, it's just boring.
Mate, the fact we managed to put the ball in the net today was just a huge plus for us, mate. Do you know what's mad is, mate, Mudrik's assist today puts him as our joint top assister for the whole season in the Prem on two assists, mate, as our joint top assist makers in the Premier League.
What's that now? 30 goals as well for a season for a club?
Yeah, we've got 30 goals. We still haven't hit 40 points though. Do you know, we're halfway through April, not even hit 40 points. That's mad. That's so bad.
And in a normal season, aren't I right in thinking, like, the season would be close to be finishing now because it's extended because of the World Cup? So
no, it probably would be. It wouldn't quite be finished yet.
Wouldn't be quite finished. We wouldn't go into June.
I mean, the season finishes, I think, end of May. But yeah, it's still look, regardless of the situation, it's pathetic on all accounts. I mean, go on, mate.
No, I was just going to say, if we don't win any of those games, where realistically do we finish? I mean,
mate, I don't really even want to look at the table. I'll bring the table up, let's have a quick look. But I mean, I think the only positive for us in terms of this situation is the fact that we got some points on the board, like, pretty early on. We had that 9-game unbeaten run under Potter. So at least that put us some points on the board. It's depressing how far down you have to scroll here. Right, let's have a look at this then. Let's get it up and like have a bit of a look at it and see where we're going to be on this one. By the way, guys, keep hitting the likes on the stream. Let's hit that 20 like mark, people. We've got 5 more likes to go, 4 more likes to go even, guys. So yeah, 4 more of you smash that like button. It really helps us out. It's free and it boosts the stream and it helps us out more than you could imagine. So make sure you hit the likes, guys. 4 more to that 20 mark. So yeah, we can definitely do this, people. Let's have a look here, mate. So we're sitting 11th at the moment, which is we're top of the bottom half. So we'll take that. Yeah, mate, we are at the moment 39 points, 3 defeats and 2 draws in our last 5. Mate, we're only 3 points ahead of Palace and 5 points ahead of Wolves, 6 ahead of Bournemouth. Mate, I'm not joking when I say we could finish 13th or 14th, mate, quite easily. We're, what was that, 27 points? We're 12, mate, we're only 12 points. Oh, he's gone. No, he's there, sorry. Yeah, mate, we're only 12 points off the drop zone. Like, I honestly think, mate, we could probably finish maybe 13th or 14th. That legit could be where we finish. Like, Palace are 3 points behind us now.
It's absolutely mad.
We won't go down. And I know people like to sort of chat about that and say, but for us to go down, for us to go down, we basically have to lose every game for the rest of the season, which could absolutely happen. But it would also require on all the teams like your Leicesters, your Southamptons, your Evertons and whatnot to also win a load of games. And that just isn't going to happen because they're down there for a reason. But, mate, -3 goal difference, 33 goals conceded. Mate, we've won 10 games and lost 12. That's 12 defeats in a Premier League season.
Well, mate, I think it's a big wake-up call for, how to run a club and that it doesn't matter. All those people who say you can buy success, or I think this is proof in the pudding that you can have as much money as you want to throw at a football club, but if you don't make the right decisions, this is what can happen. Because you look at our team on paper,
it's a
we
good
shouldn't
team.
be anywhere near there, but a football game's not won on paper. And I think the owner's decisions from day one have just been, I don't know, just scattergun. Just, they sold this idea of a project and then have basically lied to everyone because they've sacked Potter. So that was nonsense because they know that they didn't give him the time that they said they were going to give him.
They get what I would say just quickly in defense of that. They gave him so much time to try and turn it around. Like Potter should have gone months ago.
Well, they may have did in a Chelsea way, but in the grand scheme of things, they haven't because
he just couldn't continue though. Like part of the reason why he was binned because they wanted to stick with him, but there was no progress at all, none. And like you could look at it now and you could say, oh, we might as well have stuck with him because there's still no progress anyway. But I guess that was their way of admitting, do you know what, we got this wrong. But I mean, I don't know. Look, I think it's unrealistic in my point of view to expect new owners to come in that don't know the sport to get everything right straight away. That's not going to happen. But I think there's a basic sort of thing that you should. I don't know. You should like make sure that you get the basics right. And I just look at some of the decisions that have been made. I don't necessarily disagree with the decisions. I just think the timing of the decisions has been terrible. And
I watched your
moving.
Sorry, mate, I was just going to say I watched your video on Chelsea Fan TV after the game, and I agree. I think the worst decision was, like you said, was actually the Thomas Tuchel giving the whole pre-season and then deciding that actually he wasn't their man. It would have been far better to just sacked him right at the start and gone for Graham Potter if that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was out. I was still in favour out for both at the time. So I'm not going to say that they were wrong decisions because I would have done the same thing. But like you said, it was the timing, the fact bringing in Aubameyang and then just literally giving him a day before he signed.
Yeah,
madness.
Madness. No, it is madness, mate. I don't understand it. The timing has been terrible, but we keep saying things can't get worse, and they do get worse. I mean. Let me just get to a few things in the chat quickly. I mean, mate, how much do you think Jorginho's departure has affected Chelsea? I know we bought Enzo in, but he's not quite the same player. But I do think, yes, we wanted to get some money for him because he was going to leave for free. So I get it from a business perspective, but from a footballing perspective, yes, Jorginho divided opinion, and he was only good in a certain setup, and he's got a very specific set of skills, and way of playing, but. He's someone that dictates the tempo of games and brings you control in that midfield. And I just think we're actually missing his absence a lot more than I think a lot of people felt we might have done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair comment, but then I think it's clutching at straws in terms of excuses to say he's the reason. Yeah, because I think a fully fit Kante does the job anyway. And we all agreed that Jorginho, he was a good footballer. There's no doubt that he would have added value to the squad still if he was there, but we had to move on from it. And we were going down a different type of way that we wanted to play the game. So we've got plenty of players like Jorginho, but yeah, now looking back at it, he's made a great move, hasn't he? Perhaps he could have a Premier League medal over his neck, and we're in absolute dire straits. So yeah,
could be. Oh, it's going to be pretty peak, mate. This is not good. I mean, I've forgotten about that.
You were right about this one, mate. I mean, you did call that. Sterling was not a player that perhaps was going to work at Chelsea, and you were totally right, because I thought this was a statement signing. I thought he was exactly what we needed in terms of creativity and something different that could do something in the final third. But he's been absolutely shy.
He has, but I don't take satisfaction in being right in these things, other than a bit of like personal pride that I've
No, you got it right.
I don't take any satisfaction over being right, because you want players that come to the club to be a success. But I mean, we've always disagreed on Sterling. I've never particularly rated him. Yes, his goal scoring record's very good. Only 3 players in the Pep Guardiola have scored 100 goals. Him, Messi, Aguero. He's won everything in the game. He's done well for England over the years. But I just look at him, and outside of an elite setup at Manchester City, where you're playing with world-class players in a world-class system, everyone knows their job, everything goes right. A team that creates so many chances that if you miss 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, because you get 5 or 6 and you probably stick one of those away. And then no one talks about the other ones because you've scored and you win most weeks 3 or 4 by 3 or 4. Yeah, at Chelsea, the system's totally different. The quality of players is not the same that he's got surrounded by him. And the system's not as good, and all those things. And when you miss 1 or 2 chances at Chelsea, that's the difference between winning and losing, and that gets highlighted much more. So putting Sterling in Chelsea's team shows all his deficiencies. It massively highlights them. And it makes him look like a shit player. He's not a shit player, but I don't think he's a Chelsea player. And I know it's still early to make that judgment, but I've seen nothing this season from Sterling so far to suggest that he's going to be a success here. He said that he left Chelsea left City because he wanted to be the main guy. He's acting like a side man at the moment. He's done nothing here. When you come into a football club and you say, I want to be the main man, you're the highest paid footballer at the club, over 300 grand a week, and you're shit. Every week, terrible, not done anything. I mean, mate, because I know you're a massive Sterling fan, and I'm not shitting on Sterling, even though I just have done there, because he's clearly been a very successful footballer and had a great career. I'm just not sure if this was right for him now, or this was the right thing for Chelsea to do.
Yeah, I mean, there were other options out there at the time. We both had the green light for Gabriel Jesus, who decided to go to Arsenal in the end. But I mean, I still thought it would work. So it shows that
it's not. But sorry, mate, it's not worked yet. It hasn't worked. It's not worked now, but it's not saying it won't work. But it just doesn't look like working.
No, and I think you're right about the City thing. In a system where they do create so many chances, they're always going to have 80% possession, total control of games. We said the reverse. You bring Erling Haaland to Chelsea, there's no way he's scoring the goals that he's getting at Chelsea, because again, it's all about the service and the way that they link up together. And Sterling was one of those players who was always in the right areas at the right time, but needed a lot of opportunities to take. And again, he gets less backing, because like the other players who perhaps need to adjust to the league, he should be fired and ready to go. He knows the Premier League, he knows the oppositions that we play against, so there's less leeway for him, really, less excuses. And I am really disappointed at the kind of outlet that he's been given this season, because I thought first couple of games he looked quite sharp, got a couple of goals, but since then just a lack of desire, inability to create on his own. There's some sympathy, but it goes for all the players that they've had to work under now 3 different managers in that time. But
that's difficult, and that can't be easy when it's different identities. We signed under Thomas Tuchel, signed him, probably a completely different way of playing, a completely different idea for him. Potter comes in, he's got a completely different philosophy, manages in a completely different way. Like, I'll be honest. Lampard today, Sterling as a false nine. You like what were you hoping for that to achieve? You know, you watched him play in a front two in the Bernabeu, non-existent statue, and then you think, oh, we'll play him through the middle today. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, it's easy to sit here like when you're not in it and be like, oh, why has he done this? Why has he done that? But there's a large body of evidence to suggest that Sterling has been useless this season, and yet somehow he still plays. And you know that it will start on Tuesday night as well. He shouldn't be anywhere.
This is what I say.
He shouldn't be anywhere near the lineup. He shouldn't be anywhere near the lineup.
And this is why I get annoyed at watching press conferences now, because I feel like journalists are always too soft with their questioning because they don't want to be kicked out, or you know, the managers won't answer them. But just someone needs to just say, like, what was your reasoning behind Sterling playing a false nine, or why does Havertz get selected every single? Obviously not now, but why was Havertz getting selected every single game with these numbers, and someone actually like listing off how shit they've been, and for them, you know, and then even the managers, they kind of duck out of it and say, well, you know, it's my decision to make the footballing decisions, or blah, blah, blah. You know, they never come out with just a bit of honesty. And I think people want to know this, you know, why, again, today I did say to you, I thought, you know, I didn't mind that because I thought maybe that's where he wants to be, a free role where he hasn't necessarily got responsibility to stay on the touchline or a certain side. He can interchange, but obviously it didn't work. But he has to take responsibility for that, Lampard, and someone needs to question him and say, well, why did you take that decision to do that? Because so far I haven't heard it. I haven't heard why.
No, I totally agree, mate. Let's have a quick look at a few things in the chat. By the way, guys, keep smashing the likes. We've hit 20 likes now. Let's get that to 30 people. So keep smashing it. Let's get those likes up. If you're locked in now and you've not smashed a like on the stream, make sure you do so, people. Let's hit that 30 like mark. Also, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. On the road to 3,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And whilst you're at it, guys, check out the matchday vlog from earlier today as well. It's up on the channel now. Let me just get to a couple of things in the chat. By the way, mate, just let me know when you need to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go in a few. I'm going to go in a few minutes. We'll do the last point, then I'll go.
Yeah, no problem at all, mate. Let me get to this. Sterling's best days are over. Crazy wages, City laughing, just another problem and bad signing by a bunch of American baseball cronies who don't understand or have never played football. Fair. Just on Sterling, mate. Last point on Sterling before you have to go.
Yeah.
Do you think it's high, like the fact that Pep and City were more than happy to let Sterling go? Does that kind of should we have maybe seen that as a warning sign?
I mean, when the best club in the country, possibly Europe, you know, don't hold him value enough to hold him in the actual, let alone the team, the squad, and get rid of him. That's been the Chelsea way, hasn't it? We're cursed of buying players too late that are washed and no other club wants.
It's still only 27 though.
I know, but it's like he was good at Liverpool and then he was good at City, and he had 2-3 very good years at City, and then, you know, Chelsea come in, and it's the same with like Torres. It's the same with
Shevchenko,
the same with all these sorts of players. And it's, you know, I don't disagree with that comment there, but you know, again, I wanted it to work. Maybe because I'm a bit patriotic and I like, you know, the fact that
you of course you want it to work. You want all players to work out.
I know, but it's just, again, but what other options do we have? We didn't have any creative outlet in the final third before he came in. And I don't think too many people were moaning at the time when he did come in, other than, well, you did, but I didn't hear many Chelsea fans say, oh, this is a terrible signing.
No, I never said it was a terrible signing. I said I would have preferred Jesus, and I think we could have maybe looked somewhere else. But I didn't say it was a terrible signing, because when you sign someone with over 100 Premier League goals and is proven that they can do it in the Premier League, is like, and you wouldn't say that was a terrible signing. It's just, of course it's easy to look back and say now, but when you're the highest paid player at the football club, you say you're going to come in and be the main man. You've got to do better than that. You've got to show more. And he's had 2 big opportunities, massive opportunity in midweek in the Bernabeu, didn't take it, and another opportunity today to kind of be the focal point of that front line. Nothing. Didn't even notice him on the pitch today. But you know, is what it is, mate. Terrible. But mate, thank you for popping on, mate. Massively appreciated, mate. I'll catch up with you soon, top man.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
Nice one, mate. All good, bro. All good. All right, what we've got in the chat, people? What have we got in the chat here? Lampard was hoping Sterling will be similar to Gray, but he's even worse. I mean, worse than Damari Gray. Jesus Christ. We're far too many namby-pamby looking for foul merchants. Yep, fair. I mean, I can't really deny that. Reporters are shit. They don't ask relevant questions. Oh, do you know what I would say is like a lot of questions get vetted. Like there'll be certain things you aren't allowed to ask about. Like press officers and stuff at clubs are pretty like it's pretty hard to ask kind of hard-hitting questions and that sort of stuff these days, unfortunately. Look how easy the players up front are knocked off the ball. Agree, we've got no physical presence up front at all. This is why I'm desperate for Ivan Toney to come in the summer. Just someone that's physical, someone that can hold the play out, someone that can bring others into play. We just don't have any of that at all. No, he wouldn't be. He absolutely wouldn't be. I agree with that. We need to get a new manager immediately as soon as the season ends to give us as much time as possible. Yeah, agreed. TT signing like Sterling, Oba, Koulibaly, Anthony made owner sack him. TT vision of football was trash. I don't want to shit on too because I love him. I think he's a top manager. But you do have to question some of his recruitment decisions. Look, I think Koulibaly's still a good signing. Aubameyang, absolutely not. Sterling, at the moment, not looking like a good signing. Could still work out. Cucurella right now, not looking like a good signing. Fofana's is going to be a great signing. But yeah, at the moment, the business within the summer, only really Fofana looks like he's going to be any good. Koulibaly's been okay, but the one you could really say that's going to be good for the long term is Fofana. Other than that, no one. City upgrade and we buy their garbage. Ake's turned into a top player, by the way, Nathan Ake. Must have told Sterling, yep. Hopefully we kick Felix and Zakaria out. The latter was a disgrace to their ghost and we need to sell 10 to 11 others. Rebuild needed. Yeah, we need a massive rebuild. So many men need to leave the squad. So many. We've got to get rid of all the dead wood in the team. 10 or 11 players have got to go. Don't bother signing Zakaria. With Felix, I don't have a problem with him staying permanently, but that's a luxury signing. Sort out the positions you need to sort out. Sign a goalkeeper, sign a world-class defensive midfield player, sign a centre forward, and then, only then, once we've addressed those key areas, then go and sign Felix if there's cash to do so. Don't sign Felix at the expense of signing positions that we desperately need to address. That's what I was talking about. These owners know fuck all about football. Let the footballing people and these owners interfere. Yeah, no, I do agree. That's why that football department is in place, because they're going to do the bulk of the work and then report back to the owners with what they think. What do I think of Watkins? Good player. On absolute fire right now. Emery's is getting a madness out of him. Good footballer. Is he good enough for Chelsea? I mean, probably right now, yes. But in terms of is he Chelsea quality? I'm not so sure. But then, what is Chelsea quality right now? I like Watkins. I do like Watkins. People would rather bring on even Cole Palmer than Sterling now. Yeah, no, I agreed. Look, I think at the time, I think City. I don't think it wasn't a bad signing at the time. I don't think it's a bad move to make. But yeah, the reality of the situation is, people, that it looks like we've kind of been, it's not worked out for the best at this point in time. But guys, I've been here for quite a while now. Let's get into these player ratings. Let's tap into them. What are we doing here? Let's get them up. Guys, make sure you get involved in the chat with the player ratings. As I said, people, I know I sound like a broken record, but keep smashing the likes on the stream. Let's get this stream up to 30 likes, guys. Not too much to ask. We can definitely do it. You've been great tonight in the chat. Big up each and every one of yourselves that are here. Let's get this to 30 likes. We've got 9 more likes to go, people. So if you're locked in now and you're not watching this and you've not smashed a like, make sure you do. 9 likes to 30. Let's get there before we round this one out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, people. And let's get into the player ratings, guys. Leave your thoughts in the chat as well on player ratings. Let's start with Kepa. Captained the side today. And let me just get to this quickly. City also pulled out Cucurella. They had their price and they weren't prepared to go above it, so they pulled out. Fair. This will be good fun, my guy. This will be good fun. Do you know what? Kepa today, captain the side. You could argue perhaps he was at fault for the goals in Madrid. Today, he was probably the best player on the pitch in terms of the fact that he kept it from being almost a bit of a cricket score. Could have easily been 3-4 or 5-1 without the saves he made. Makes a great save from Ferguson, a header. And some other saves as well that I actually can't remember now. There's nothing he could do about that goal. An absolutely superb strike. I would probably today, yes, I know we've let 2 goals in, Couldn't really do anything about either of them. I would give Kepa. We've lost, but I'm going to give him a 6.5. I can't quite give him a 7. I'll give him a 6.5. Let's move on to Trevor Chalobah. Back in the side today, playing at right back. Not his natural position, for sure. But in a 4, I suppose he's better than Aspie. I'll be honest, we've been calling for Trev to get more minutes and to see more action. Jesus Christ, he's going to be having nightmares tonight. That was an absolute disaster class from Chalobah today. Got absolutely cooked by Matoma, particularly in that first half. Yes, he switched into centre back in the second half. He was awful today. Matoma had him on fire, on toast, mate. It was so easy for him. Matoma cooked him left, right, and centre. Every time he got the ball, Chalobah couldn't live with him at all. He just got battered by him. And by the way, what a player Matoma is. Another one. Fair play to the Brighton scouting system, the Brighton scouting network, you know. Really, really good performance. Really great gem they've signed there. And he's going to be a player that if they do sell him in the summer, fuck me, they're going to get a lot of money from him. They signed him, I think, for £4.5 million. He's worth £50-60 million player now. Really joy to watch him today. And a superb player. Had Chalobah on toast. Chalobah, disaster class for him today. Probably give Trevor 1. He was awful. Absolutely shocking today. Just got completely done. Yeah, you could argue that he's a bit rusty. He's also playing out of position, not played a lot of minutes recently. But yeah, from what I saw today, Trev was terrible. Terrible. Wesley Fofana, I thought pretty decent today. Not one of his better games. Again, was subbed off with half an eye on Madrid. But at the same time, I thought all right today, actually. You know, made some good tackles, made some good blocks, broke forward from the back well. Did pretty well in that regard. I would probably, Matoma's a really good player. Fofana today, I'm going to give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. A 5 for Fofana, just average. Nothing spectacular, nothing truly shocking. And we'll need him to be at a top level on Tuesday night if we're going to stand any chance whatsoever. Let's move to Badiashile back into the side today. He needs to be back in the side. He looks a little bit rusty, if I'm honest. He's not played an awful lot of football, and this is recently. And this is what I mean when you like constantly chopping and changing. Like, you can't expect players who haven't played much football to come in and suddenly just fit seamlessly into the side again. This was a difficult game for Badiashile. Had some good moments, but also really wasn't that great at all, if we're being perfectly honest. He just needs a run of games and to get some minutes under his belt. Because when he first came into the side, he was absolutely superb. I don't understand why he suddenly wasn't getting picked, and now he's been picked to going to be out the side on Tuesday. Who knows if he'll play the following week against Brentford or not? I don't really know. But yeah, Badiashile into a 4 for me, if I'm being honest. A 4 wasn't that great. Chilwell, excuse me, guys, sorry about that. Chile not playing on Tuesday night because of that obvious red card. I tell you what, that was poor. Tabs, big up my guy. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support as always. Thanks a lot, bro. Chile, I thought he was poor today. I'll be real. Got forward quite well on a couple of occasions. But yeah, this wasn't great. It really wasn't. I thought he struggled at times. It was better first half than he was second half, in my opinion. I think I'm going to go 4.5. But Chilwell was absolutely one of our better players, one of the best players at the club. Great that he signed a new contract and all that, and he'll be a big part of the future. But yeah, I think a 4.5 for Chile today. Let's move into midfield. I mean, Zakaria, and again, this is another thing that I'm on about. You know, Zakaria back into the squad, and yet Zakaria back into the squad, and like he's not played for weeks and weeks, not played since Tottenham away. Like, what are you really expecting him to do? I mean, he wasn't awful by all accounts. He look, he was a ghost, but like he wasn't like terrible. It wasn't like he was getting fucking dominated and whatnot. But the likes of Caicedo, McAllister, they were just dominating that midfield. By the way, what a player Moises Caicedo is. I can see why we tried to get him. Top player. Alexis McAllister, top player. Mitoma, Ferguson, even that geezer that scored the worldie. Who was that? I can't even remember his name. They plucked him from Paraguay or somewhere. The Brighton scouting system is absolutely superb. It really is. But that's enough of me bigging up Brighton. Zakaria, 2. I think a 2's fair. No, actually, no. Let's go 3. Let's go 3. Just non-existent, mate. Man had his invisibility cloak on. Non-existent. Non-existent, people. Let's go to Enzo. Enzo subbed off, obviously, with a view to Tuesday night as well. I'll be honest, Enzo's been good, very good for us since he signed. He started every game since he's joined. I'll be honest, that was a really poor game from Enzo today. He wasn't good. He wasn't great today at all. He struggled. But you are gonna struggle. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. You will struggle. Guys, keep smashing these likes. We're still on 21 people. Let's get this up to at least 30, minimum 25, guys. Keep doing your thing. Keep smashing those likes and subscribe to the channel, people. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Enzo, not one of his better games today. Looked a bit off it. He gave the ball away quite a lot. I don't know what I'd say. Oh, that's the one. Yes. That's my guy, Enciso. Top class, bought mega cheap from Paraguay. Yeah, I've seen it. Fabrizio done a tweet on it. What a strike that was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but did he come? Did he come? He came off the bench, didn't he, Enciso? Wasn't he someone? He was one of the players. Did he replace Ferguson? No, he didn't replace Ferguson. He replaced. I can't remember who he replaced. Did he start Enciso? Because I can't remember. Yeah, Estupian was also class. Welbeck was good. Yeah, just a great side. A joy to watch. Admittedly, at Chelsea's expense today, but they're a fantastic side to watch. They really are. I mean, if you can get out and watch Brighton this season, I recommend you go and do it. They're superb. Enzo 5, overrun by Caicedo, but was on his own in midfield. Yeah, I do agree on that. Oh, he replaced Veltman. Fair. Yeah, great strike. I'll give Enzo an average 5 today for me. Yeah, just not one of his better days, not the races. Hopefully he's back at it for Tuesday. Conor Gallagher, as I said at the top of the show, one of the only players that can come out of this performance today with his head held even half high. Decent performance from him. Energy, runs about, pressing's great. He gets the goal. Let's be real. I've not watched it back yet, but from where I was sitting, I could see that it did take a heavy deflection. But I thought Gallagher was good today. I think he was probably. I'd say he's probably the best player on the pitch. If I'm being, in all honesty, bar maybe Kepa, with his saves, but Gallagher. I give Gallagher the same as Kepa because actually Kepa kept the scoreline respectable. I give Gallagher a 6.5. Is he good enough for Chelsea in the long run? That's a debatable. That's debatable. I suspect probably not, but I think he's someone that can play a big part in the squad. It can be a very useful squad player for us. Yeah, bro, mate, Brighton were the teachers, we were the pupils, mate. They were conducting proceedings, mate. We were getting conducted like an orchestra. It was peak settings at the bridge. It really was. 6 for Gallagher, I go 6.5. Yeah, Mudryk was good today. I liked what I saw from Mudryk. Let's get into the front line then. Christian Pulisic starting his first game under Frank Lampard. Thought we might get a throwback to lockdown Pulisic. No, we certainly did not. There wasn't really anything from Pulisic today, if I'm being totally honest. There really wasn't anything from him. I would give Pulisic. I mean, what did he even do? He had a decent run, a half decent cross, I think, on a couple of occasions. But yeah, reality of the situation is just not good enough. Not good enough today. I'd give him. Didn't see him do anything. Fuck it. I'm going to give Pulisic a 3. Just not good. Not good at all. Pulisic, 3. Just nothing. Just nothing really. Not enough. Mudryk, mate, I'm heavily invested in Lino Pulisic. Mudryk today I thought was good. Was he the best player on the pitch? I'm not sure. It's between him and Gallagher. I'm gonna just shade it Gallagher. I think I'll probably give Mudryk. I'll probably will end up giving Mudryk a 6. I thought just not quite as good as Gallagher, but I give Mudryk a 6. I thought he was. Oh mate, people in the chat saying 7. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I'll go 7 Mudryk. 7 Mudryk, just a smidgen better than Gallagher. Mudryk today, opportunity, thought he took it well. And the way I see Mudryk is he's raw. He's gonna give the ball away. He's got a bit of a loose first touch, still. Those are things that can be worked on. But what he does give you is pace, directness, quick feet. He's got a good shot on him, and he's unpredictable. And that's really important in a player, is that level of unpredictability. I think I thought he was good today. Look, not amazing, but one of his best games for us. He got an assist for the goal. That's now 2 assists, joint top assister in the Premier League for us. I liked what I saw from Mudryk today, and I think there's plenty of ability there. There's plenty of potential there. So yeah, a promising performance. And that was the addition to start on Tuesday night against Real Madrid. He's 100% past it. Mudryk's got to start on Tuesday against Madrid. It's as simple as that. It really is. So I'll give Mudryk a 7 in this one. I thought there were real promising signs of encouragement on that one today. And Mudryk just needs more games. I don't want Mudryk to play today. Completed his first 90 minutes today for the club, by the way. Congrats, Mudryk, my guy. Yeah. And in terms of, I think he can definitely grow into the team. I agree with that. And he just needs minutes, needs consistent run of games. So don't just play him 90 now and then don't play him at all against Madrid. Needs a consistent run in the side so he can adapt and he can show what he can do. People keep hitting those likes. We're still on 21, guys. Let's get those likes up, people. Come on, keep smashing the likes, guys. Let's move on to the last one. We spent a long time chatting about Sterling when George was on. Sterling, awful today. Not quite as bad as... Actually, do you know what? Yeah, a 1 for Sterling. Level joint worst player on the pitch with Trev. Sterling was terrible. He started down. I literally couldn't tell you a single thing that Sterling actually did today. If someone can, say something that Sterling did, that would be great, because I can't remember a single thing he did. A massive opportunity again today. Didn't take it. Offered absolutely nothing to the side. He's not direct. He's not dribbling. He's not taking anyone on. His passing's poor. Everything's poor. He's done absolutely nothing today, and that's going to be a concern. That's got to be a concern. There's no way that Sterling can start on Tuesday night. I will be fuming with Lampard if Sterling starts on Tuesday night, because he's put in 2 disaster classes back to back. There's no way that he can be starting on Tuesday night. He just simply can't be. He can't. Not good enough. I haven't really got too much more. He's flat-footed when he receives the ball. Agree with that. There's no urgency with him. He's just been terrible. He's had a shocking season for us. He's not the only one, but I'm just not convinced that this is the right signing. I'm just not convinced at all. He hasn't done anything right, Sterling, today. Absolutely dreadful. So there we go. Player ratings poor. The only players that have come through with any semblance of credit: Kepa, Gallagher, and Mudryk. The rest of you, man, terrible today. Absolutely shocking. But yeah, guys, pretty tough one out there today. Pretty tough one. And we go again Tuesday, Real Madrid. Great. What I do want to see, though, for the rest of the season is that the guys that are going to be here, I want them to actually feature. I want the likes of your Chukwuemakers, your Lewis Halls, your Maduekes. These guys need to feature. They're part of the future. They're part of the long-term plans. They have got to feature in the matchday squads. That's for finals as well. I don't want to see Ziyech in another matchday squad. I don't want Ziyech getting any more minutes. I don't want Aubameyang getting any more minutes. Guys that aren't going to be here should not be getting places in the squad and getting minutes. It is as simple as that. So it's on Lampard to make those decisions. And if he doesn't make those decisions, I will criticise him. Simple as that. Because some of the decisions today in the squad were criminal. Not good enough. Simply not good enough. So yeah, let's see what happens Tuesday night. I'm not expecting anything at all. He should be sold. Not going to lie, the wage. Yeah, the fact that he's on over 300k a week is criminal. Absolutely criminal with the level of performances that he's putting in. Why didn't Madueke and Fofana didn't even make the bench? But yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't. Pulisic, not as much as Ziyech, but they're both going to be out the door. I just don't get it. This is what I don't understand. I really don't understand it at all. Fofana, Madueke, Havertz, Mudryk, Enzo, Cover, Kante, Badiashile. What is that for? Is that for Madrid? I wouldn't start Datro against. I play Mudryk for the middle against Madrid, I think. Yeah, agreed that Sterling needs to be dropped Tuesday, but I can almost guarantee that Lampard will play him. I can almost guarantee that Lampard's going to play him. Right, guys, final push for the 30 likes, people. 8 more to go. Final push. I'm going to round this one out imminently so we can get 8 likes before the end of it. It would be absolutely superb, guys. Do your thing. You've been fantastic tonight, as always, in the chat. So yeah, let's get it to 30 likes before we round this one out. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say. That's why we need a new manager now. But again, I can fully understand why a new manager doesn't want to take over at this point in time. But a pre-agreement or an announcement on a new manager could be a bit of a lift that players need because they know that he'll be watching. Is Lewis Hall better than Cucurella? Lewis Hall's done really well this season when he's played. Not really too sure why he's dropped out. Havertz, Felix, Matt will play, I guess. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Thanks for tuning in, my guy. Massively appreciate it. As always, up the Chelsea. But yeah, people, I'm going to round this one out now. It's been a great stream tonight. I've massively enjoyed it. George, thank you for popping in, bro. Massively appreciate it. Guys in the chat, thank you for getting involved. Thanks for making it fun. Thanks for putting your input in. Greatly appreciate it. Try and read out every single message if I can. Another really disappointing day for Chelsea today on Frank Lampard's homecoming. It wasn't to be. De Zerbi ball was in full flow, and Brighton thoroughly deserved the points. We move on to Tuesday night. Let's see what happens. Magical things can happen at Stamford Bridge. I'm not expecting anything. I've got no expectations for the rest of the season. But people, make sure you smash the likes on the stream on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check out the match day vlog as well from today. I would say enjoy it. It was a tough watch, but I make these because I know that people enjoy them and they like them. So you could check it out. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, wasn't to be for Chelsea today. We might not taste that winning feeling again this season, but yeah, we've got to stick with it through the tough times. Better times are coming. I don't know when, but guys, massively thanks for tuning in. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Check the vlog out. Better times are coming. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with Ollie for a preview for the Real Madrid second leg. I'm not about on Monday night. So Real Madrid preview coming tomorrow evening, guys. So make sure you stay locked in for that one. But as always, take care, people, and up the Chelsea.